Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, I'm back, and we are here to read and learn more about 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons. So today we're going to be learning about the Half-Elf. Like I said in the description, on Facebook at least, because I don't know what I'm going to say in the description on YouTube. The Half-Elf, I think, is a really fun race to play. I've liked it because I've always liked the concept of that they're not a human to... they're not quite a human to other humans, and to elves they're not a full elf, and so they kind of have this displacement, and nobody really trusts them. And it's not that nobody really trusts them, it's that they don't really fit in. People trust them. They're not like a social pariah in the way that, like, say, like a tiefling is or a drow. They fit in, but they experience a lot of identity crisis. And I don't know, like I said, being from mixed culture and being pretty whitewashed Hispanic, and at the same time not identifying as white, I could totally feel it. So I've always kind of felt for that. So let's get into this. The Half-Elf. Half-Elf. Flint squinted into the setting sun. He thought he saw the figure of a man striding up the path. Standing, Flint drew back into the shadows of a tall pine to see better. The man's walk was marked by an easy grace, an elvish grace. Flint would have said, yet the man's body had the thickness and tight muscles of a human, while the facial hair was definitely humankind's. All the dwarf could see of the man's face beneath the green hood was tan skin and a brownish-red beard. A long bow was slung over his shoulder, and a sword hung at his left side. He was dressed in soft leather, carefully tooled in the intricate designs the elves loved, but no elf in the world of Crean would grow a beard. No elf, but... Tanis, said Flint hesitantly as the man neared. The same, the newcomer's beard face split into a wide grin. He held open his arms, and before the dwarf could stop him, engulfed Flint in a hug and lifted him off the ground. The dwarf clasped his friend close for a brief instant, then remembered his dignity, squirmed free from the half-elf's embrace. Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman, Dragons of Autumn Twilight. That's Tanis's introduction to the very first Dragonlance book, when he walks right into the bar and they describe him, and then him and Flint hug and start catching up. Walking in two worlds, but truly belonging to neither. Half-elves combine what some say are the best qualities of their elf and human parents. Human curiosity, inventiveness, and ambition tempered by the refined senses, love of nature, and artistic tastes of the elves. Some half-elves live among humans, set apart by their emotional and physical differences, watching friends and loved ones age while time barely touches them. Others live with the elves, growing restless as they reach adulthood in the timeless elven realms, while their peers continue to live as children. Many half-elves, unable to fit into either society, choose lives of solidarity, wandering or join with other misfits and outcasts in the adventuring life. Yeah, that's the other thing, is that half-elves tend to go with other misfits and outcasts, which is why, if you go back and look at the Dragonlance setting in Tanis, the Salmonian Knights, of what the one knight's from, Sturm, they're like ancient and like extinct. Like, he's a weirdo. He's a weirdo for his religion in that. And then they got the little hobbit with them. They've got this dwarf. They're taking along Gully dwarfs. They're quite the group of misfits. Carmon's the only one that would fit in normal, but he's got his fucking creepy twin brother with him who's all deformed from doing evil magic. And so half-elves are at home with they're at home with misfits, like they said. To humans, half-elves look like elves, and to elves, they look human. In height, they're on par with both parents, though they're neither as slender as elves nor as broad as humans. They range from under 5 feet to about 6 feet tall, and from 100 to 180 pounds, with men only slightly taller and heavier than women. I'm like, 180 is my competition weight. Half-elven coloration and features lie somewhere between their human and elf parents, and thus show a variety even more pronounced than that found among either race. They tend to have the eyes of their elven parents. Diplomats are wanderers. Half-elves have no land of their own. Though they are welcome in human cities and somewhat less welcome in elven forests, in large cities and regions where elves and humans interact often, half-elves are sometimes numerous enough to form small communities of their own. They enjoy the community of other half-elves, the only people who truly understand what it is to live between these two worlds. Oh, is Lightning out there?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, honey. He came up and curled up. One of the strays came up and showed up and laid behind my chair over here. Okay. In most parts of the world, though, half-elves are uncommon enough that one might live for years without meeting one. Some half-elves prefer to avoid company altogether, wandering the wilds as trappers, foresters, hunters, and adventurers, and visiting civilizations only rarely. Like elves, they are driven by the wanderlust that comes of their longevity. Others, in contrast, throw themselves into the thick of society, putting their charisma and social skills to great use in diplomatic roles or as swindlers. Half-elf names. We're not going to read the actual names. Oh, actually, there are none listed. Half-elves use either human or elven naming conventions, as if to emphasize that they don't really fit into either society. Half-elves raised among humans are often given elven names, and those who are raised among elves are often given human names. Your half-elf character has some qualities in common with elves and some that are unique to half-elves. Ability score. Your charisma score increases by 2. And two other abilities of your choice increase by 1. Half-elves mature the same rate as humans do and reach adulthood around age 20. They live much longer than humans, however, often exceeding 180 years. Half-elves share the chaotic bent of their elven heritage. They value both personal freedom and creative expression, demonstrating neither love of leaders nor desire for followers. They scoff at rules, resent others' demands, and sometimes prove unreliable or at least unpredictable. Half-elves are about the same size as humans, ranging from 5 to 6 feet tall. Your size is medium. Your base walk speed is 30. Dark vision. Thanks to your elf blood, you have superior dark vision and in dark and dim conditions. You can see in dim light within 60 feet as if you were bright light, and in darkness as if it were dim light. You can't discern colors in darkness, only shades of gray. Fey ancestry. You have advantage on saving throws against being charmed, and magic can't put you to sleep. Skill versatility. You gain proficiency in 2 skills of your choice. Language. You can speak, read, and write Common, Elvish, and 1 extra language of your choice. Very good. So that's the half-elf. I like it. I could say a lot more about it. I think that they fit a bunch of classes good. I think in particular, aside from making a monk, I've considered making a sorcerer. I think the half-elf is actually a great pick for the sorcerer. You get that +2 to charisma, and then you get a +1 to 2 other abilities of your choice, which you're going to be getting that +2 in your main stat, and now based on what direction you want to take your sorcerer in, those extra 2 points are going to be very, very nice. Okay, guys, thanks for listening to me. Please leave me likes, please leave me feedbacks and comments, and share. I appreciate it. Thank you very much, and tomorrow I'll be back to read about the half-orc.